That's a weird band name.
Yeah! Welcome back.
What's the sofa?
We're here on the best show on the internet, Music Is It Good Though, where we talk about mostly new albums, but today and occasionally older albums. Today we're talking about the best alleged album of 1991.
Allegedly best album.
No, the best alleged album.
It was an album.
Well, that's alleged. But it's by My Bloody Valentine and it's called...
Loveless.
No I completely forgot that. Yeah, no caps on the title, no caps on any of the tracks either.
No, don't know why that is. So this follows in the series of best albums of the year that we did. You'll probably see the Cocktail Twins at one point.
Yeah, that's coming out... Well, I say it's coming out like in a couple of days, but who knows when this episode comes out.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to see it somewhere in our back catalogue as the Cocktail Twins, which was the best album of 1990, allegedly. Whereas today we're talking about the best album of 1991.
Going back on what we're basing this on, so this is on Rate Your Music, isn't it?
Yes.
So
rateyourmusic.com. It's all user reviews and it's all kind of uses some sort of algorithm to decide based on all those reviews how many people have reviewed, what they reviewed it as, the best albums of any year, and also like lots of other playlists, I guess, of best albums of rock, best albums of metal, best albums of trip hop, anything that's on there. So, any preconceptions of My Bloody Valentine?
No, well, yeah, there was a preconception. I've never heard them, but I assume they were a goth band. Just based purely on the name.
Makes sense, yeah.
How about you?
I'd heard of them in that I'm pretty sure that they're on my 1001 albums to listen to before you die. To hear before you die. Probably is, yeah. But it's not been generated for me yet, but I've definitely come across it somewhere. So, hadn't heard them, at least to my knowledge. I guess I expected, not even knowing when they were from, because I didn't know prior to this that they were even around in 1991.
No.
I thought, could they be emo? Could they be goth? I don't know.
No, I assume they'd be American as well, like with all things.
Where are they from?
Scottish. Scotland.
They're from Scottish. Yeah. What did you think of the album then?
Awful. Absolutely awful. I liked one song on it, the first one. I just thought if it was more of this, I can get it. Like, it sounds a bit like The Breeders or Pixies, and then it's like loud, drony guitars. I can get it. But then it's got like the vocals of the Cocktail Twins completely...
I disagree with that. It's not like
not exactly the same, but in terms of you can't understand what they're saying.
The vibe that I got is, I'm sure they did this intentionally, but they sound like none of them want to be there. Like, the guitars are very kind of drony, like you say. The singers...
But again, it is all on purpose.
Yeah.
I've read up on it and he said, like, well, I bet it was an absolute slog, this album, because he said that it took ages to record and they went into 19 different studios.
Wow.
To record it. I don't know if that was by design or whether they just got tired of using one or what. I don't know the benefits of using different studios. Yeah, but it was just awful. Again, I have to question the public's music taste.
Yeah, I agree.
Some of them weren't even songs. Like, in my view, it was just like, it was noise. Like, I've not heard of a lot of noise rock, but I assume it's this.
I guess kind of it's comparable. Like, the only noise rock that I'm aware of that I've heard is, what are they called?
That's a weird band name.
Can't remember what they're called. I'll put them on the screen, but that doesn't help you for our conversation. No. I don't know enough about the genre, but like because they all sound so lazy, is this slacker rock or is that something else?
No. From what I've heard, from what I've seen as well, the official term for it is shoegaze.
So this is shoegaze?
Apparently.
I've come across that term before.
Yeah, I've come across it. I don't know what it is, and from this I don't want to know. Because it's just, it seems more intent. When I've read up again on reviews of it, and it's like, oh, it's reimagined what the guitar can do, and it's like cemented the guitar's place as a central focal point for rock music. It's like, how? Only one song on there, really, has anything interesting on guitar, and that's the first one. The rest of it is all atmospheric nonsense.
It's a very strange album, isn't it? Like, it's not at all what I expected. It's quite a difficult listen. I'd I try and listen to every album thrice. I say this in loads of episodes. And I'd listened to it twice, and then today, just before I came, I was like, I need to listen to it this third time so I get more familiar with it. And I put it on in the living room, and like 10 seconds, not if even that, like 3 seconds into track 1, my partner Rach just went, "This is awful."
Yeah.
And that's, in your opinion, the best song on the album.
Best song, yeah. It is just an absolute slog. But again, like I said with the Cocktail Twins, this is an album about for musos to go, you just don't get it. It's like, no, I don't get it because it's bad.
But like, there's albums where I don't get it, which is one of this band that I'm trying to remember the name of that's doing my head in. No, there's some music that I don't particularly like, but I want to see the appeal of it, and I want to kind of understand what people like, and want it to click for me. This didn't even make me want to click. Like, I don't want to keep listening to it until I get it. I'm not... Well, it would be interesting to hear what people like about it, but it's not going to be like I'm wanting them to sway me. It's just going to be like, okay, I get your opinion, I disagree. If it did kind of revolutionise how the guitar can sound in rock music, is it one of those where you just had to be there at the time? And... wow, this is so completely out there, it's so different to everything, and then seeing lots of other bands take inspiration from it, then maybe. But listening to it now and the staying power of it, then for someone that hadn't heard it before and wasn't around at the time, from my personal viewpoint, it just wasn't fun, and it was just hard to listen to, and I don't want to listen to it anymore, thank you very much.
No, I'm never going to listen to this album. It was an absolute slog. Like, the first time I heard it, I was like, oh my God. And I was like 2 tracks in, and I just can't. I had to stop it because it was just so bad.
Yeah.
So I've listened to it piecemeal.
Right.
I don't think I've listened to it in full just because that's just awful.
It's hard to do.
49 minutes, that is.
Yeah.
Of absolutely nothing. Like,
but it feels like 49 minutes is a pretty standard album length, but it feels like so much longer.
Yeah. Like the last song on the album is just the same thing. I counted it for like the last 2 minutes. No vocals. It's just the same.
Just vamping the same bar over and over again, isn't it?
Awful. I've come up with a reason for why they've got no capitals just in the last minute.
Okay.
Because they wanted this album not to be heard by anyone. They wanted it to shrink from view.
Right.
So they've not capitalised it. So even they knew it was bad.
Well, if things are capitalised, if it's all capped, it's shouting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if it's all lower capped, they're just whispering it because they didn't want it to get out there.
Yeah.
There we go. You heard it here first, folks.
Don't listen to this album.
Yeah. Or if you're sadistic, then you want to hurt yourself, give it a listen. But if you do listen to it and you like it, tell us why, because I can't wrap my head around why. I'm probably not going to agree with you, but I'd love to hear why people do like this album. Wherever the audience is coming from, there's a lot of people that like it. And I'd like to hear why, because I don't get it.
Did you review this for your Instagram?
Not yet, because it's not been generated for me yet.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
If it does get generated, I'll write a review.
I'm just interested, because you normally get some comments on there, don't you?
Yeah.
Usually opposing what you say.
Yeah. So. Especially if... Well, because on the Instagram, it's all... allegedly albums you must hear, so the very highly reputed albums, there's going to be people everywhere that love it, and then when I say I don't like one, there's going to be people that are following me but that's my favourite album.
Yeah. So
whereas on the review site and on here where we have like 3 subscribers, actually I have a bit more than usual. But yeah, there's not much interaction on here, whereas there is more on Instagram. So interact with us, let us know what you think.
Don't.
So what would you put if you were to put a number on the album?
Oh, God. 1. Just because of the one good song. 1.
I was going to say 2, but I don't know if I'm being too nice. I think it's just... There was a song on it, if you get the track list up. I know you mentioned track 1. There was one on it that was my favourite out of the bunch, but it is like seeing the shiniest turd. When You Sleep. I was going to say I didn't mind it, but I still did. Yeah. It was just parts of it I could appreciate, but so much of the album was just nothing. So, yeah, I'm going to have to agree and go for 1.
Worst album we've heard then.
Yeah.
Even worse than the Cocktail Twins summer.
Worse than the Cocktail Twins. Even worse than Taylor Swift. The new bar of awful is My Bloody Valentine. Yeah, the best album of 1991.
Maybe we're just contrived.
Yeah, seems so.
We saw something that's the best and decided we're going to drag this down.
Got too much praise.
Yeah.
So, off the top of my head, I think the best album for 1992 is by Aphex Twin, which is a very different sounding band to this, I believe.
Thank God.
So, yeah, that'll bring us to the end. Averaging out at 1 out of 10. Probably not going to get lower than that.
No, can
So-
you vote a none? Imagine how bad that album's going to be.
Yeah.
To be worse.
And make us vom.
Yeah. It's the brown noise.
Yeah. So stick around for next time. Next week, when this comes out, is just going to be like a new album. Can't say what it is because who knows when this video is going to come out. But yeah, some point in the future, as our next special episode, will be Aphex Twin. Unless that's 1993, then it'll be something else. Yeah. Bye then.
Bye-bye.
And have a nice day. You knew you'd move first.